Doing good. All right. Okay. Hey, Anish. Hi. Hey, Ray. How are you doing? Wonderful. Okay. Okay. I remember it's not Satish, it's Ansh, right? Did I get it right this time? Cool. Hi, Ansh. How are you doing? Hey, Varsha. Hello, everyone. So, everyone's joining in. I see so many beautiful smiles, and then I see that few of you have not turned on your videos. Guys, I want to see you people. Please turn on your videos. Show me the smiling faces. Yeah, now I see Advika. Hey, Shaurya. Okay, yeah, just one's giving a thumbs up. Cool. Hey, Tanvi. Hi, everyone. So I see Kendall, I see Vikram. Arnav's joining in, Kalyan, Shansa. Guys, could you please just turn on your videos for a moment? I just want to see the smiling faces. It kind of, boosts up my energy. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Kendall, such a beautiful smile you have. Hey, Kalyan. Hey, Jairam. All right. Yeah, perfect. Hi, Rishit. Hey, Shansa. Hi, Anish. Guys, if you could just turn on your, videos for a moment. I just want to have a smiling picture of, each one of us on the screen. So I get a hi from Vikram. I get a hi from Anish. Hey, everyone. Yes, Anish. Yes, Ansh. Third time's a charm. Now I get it. Okay. Hey, Anish, everyone. Wonderful. All right. So yes, once again, welcome everyone. Welcome back to the third week of Revision Marathon, right? So as people said, the third time's a charm. So yes, we'll, begin very quickly. I have a wonderful video prepared for you guys. I hope you guys are excited for it. Cool. So let's have the video. And in the meantime, everyone else would join in and we'll begin the session. So here we go.
Hello and welcome to 98th Percentile. We're an online education company that offers live math and English courses for K through 12 students to get them a grade ahead in 6 months or less. We also focus on building young entrepreneurs through our live coding and public speaking programs. Our Rockstar teachers focus on small classroom sizes with only up to 4 students per classroom. This means that your students receive the benefit of fun and engagement with their peers while also receiving the benefit of personalized attention from their educators. We do all of this at an unbeatable price that delivers 4 times the value of any other similar program out there today. At 98th Percentile, we've already helped accelerate over 1,000 students' academic career and have received prestigious awards from all across the world.
All right. So I hope you guys like that video, right? Okay, so I see so many of you have joined in and it's time for the session to begin. So let's get started, people. Okay. Advika, you're raising your hand. You have a question, dear?
Is public speaking here or?
Public speaking? Okay. Guys, we have something amazing coming up. Stay tuned till the end of the class. Advika, I will answer your question, in a very wonderful and visual way. Okay? For sure, I'll answer this question to you. Okay, then guys, let's get started. So once again, welcome everyone. Welcome to the third week of 98th Percentile Presents Revision Marathon. Okay, here we are to revise and not memorize. Now, quick, kids, there is something new today that I have for the parents, and that's why I request you could just grab your parents for a real 1 quick minute. That's it. Okay. So parents are coming in, just 1 quick minute. Hey, Ayan, how you doing, man? For a second, I got scared watching. Yeah. Cool. Hey, Yash. Okay, so I see Pulkit's mom is here. Hello, ma'am. How are you doing? Okay, so yes, I see that, many parents have joined in. I see Jairam's father is also here. Very good. Okay. So yes, once again, hi, welcome back, parents. So there is a reason why I've gathered, why I have requested your presence over here today. I wanted to explain the progress that we have done so far. So as discussed, the intention of the revision marathon is that, in a span of 5 weeks, 5 sessions, 5 weekends, we wanted to, touch base upon the entire grade 3 curriculum. So you can see this is the progress bar that we have over here. Okay. Grade 3 comprises of 5 different domains. In the first and second week, we completed the first and second domain. And today we'll be completing the third domain, that is fractions. After this, we just have 2 more sessions and then the kids would be exam ready. They would be thorough with maths. And I hope that you guys are also doing a bit at home. We are sharing worksheets with you people. We are sharing the session videos also with you people. So, if there are any doubts or something, kids can revisit those videos, and they are solving worksheets at home. The worksheets do have answers. So, you could go ahead and help them practice also. Now, this is the progress that we have done so far. There is something new that I want to share with you people. So, I've got multiple requests and I understand that it would be difficult to address each one of your individual doubts, in this session because it's a large gathering, right? But then again, I felt that, we should have one particular way in which I could address those doubts. So when we are doing our domain over here, I try to handpick, most important topics and questions. But if you feel that there is something else regarding that domain that you need revision with, if there is a particular lesson, a particular skill, or a specific question which you feel, you're finding it difficult to understand, what you can do is we are sharing a Microsoft form, link in the chat. You people just have to, you just have to, fill in that form, and you can fill the specific questions or the topics that you're having doubts in. And I'll make sure that in the next class when we meet, I'll be addressing those doubts. So isn't that fine? So you would be, if there are any other doubts apart from the ones that, we are solving in the class, you would be able to, answer even them. So if I show you, the form is something similar to this. Okay. It's a very simple form. You just have to enter your email address, what is the child's name, and please make sure you're selecting the grade so that it is going to the specific teacher and the specific teacher is addressing, the question in that particular class. And here you can enter as many questions as you feel you have doubts to. Okay, that's it. And if you are liking our sessions, please like us. These are our Facebook and Google reviews. We would love to have the feedback that you have from our end. It has been a wonderful journey so far for us. And I'm sure even you people are enjoying the classes. If you are, please go ahead and just take that 1 to 2 more minutes to share your wonderful thoughts about us. The link for the Microsoft form has been shared in the chat. Please make sure you're using that. Okay, coming back to the presentation. All right. So yes, I requested for that. So that's it, parents. I won't be taking much time right now, but there is something much more amazing that I would, want to be sharing with you people, but that we'll be doing after the session. So please make sure that once the session is over, I'd be requesting your presence once again. Please come back at that time. There is something amazing that I want to share with you people, and I'm sure you'd be loving it. Okay, then kids, that's it. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? I don't see the excitement. Come on, guys. Where is that excitement? I don't see any thumbs up. I don't see hearts. Okay, I see Joshita, Varsha. Tanvi is giving me a thumbs up. Come on, everyone else. Yeah, Dhruti is smiling. Dhruti, yo, yeah, that's the spirit, Dhruti. Very good. Okay, I see Shafar. I see Yash, Rhythm. Rhythm, that's a very melodic name. Trust me. Very good. Okay, so I see Ray. I see Sid, Nivan, and Rashan. Wonderful. So everyone is ready, right? Cool, 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 cool. Okay, then guys, let the show begin. So what I'm going to do now is very quickly, I want you people to grab your second devices because for Kahoot, we'll be needing 2 devices, right? So I request you people to grab both of your devices. I am sharing the game pen in a real quick span. Oh, wow. People are showing me the yeah, Joshita. That's a wonderful tab. Very good. Varsha, where are you? I see your beautiful room, but I don't see you. Where are you? Come on, everyone. Back to your devices. Okay. So are you guys ready for the game pin? I'm sharing the game pin. Okay. I see Jairam is coming in. Okay. So I see many of you are ready with the game pin. Wonderful. Wow. So I see so many of you on my screen. Are you guys ready? So let's see. This is a revision thing, right? It's not a competition. So how about you people give me a thumbs up? Yeah. Okay. And we'd request our friend to take this wonderful picture because I see so many smiling pictures over here. So many smiling faces. So, oh yeah, Nivan, that was a wonderful cheer. Okay, then guys, let the Kahoot begin. No, no, no. Not let the count begin. It's time to Kahoot. So the game pin is now in front of your screens. Ta-da! Okay, the game pin is being loaded. And the game pin is 5273846. 5273846. Come on, champs. Show me your names on the screen. Come on. This is a fun music. Okay, Rishit, you were the first one. Very good. Abhinav is like the Flash. Very good, Abhinav. All right. So I see so many of you already joined, waiting for everyone else. Okay, let's wait for a few more seconds. Aditya has already declared himself a winner. Very good, Aditya. I like that confidence. You have given yourself a trophy already. Very good. Okay, guys, are we ready? I feel almost everyone is here, right? Cool, 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 cool. So yes, let the game begin. Okay, so Prahan joined in. So yes, let's see who all are here. You guys have wonderful nicknames, huh? So Sid the Cool, yo. Satya is a very cool name. Satya, that virus front and behind is kind of scary, but yeah, that's good. Abhinav is on a Spark. Ray, Advika, okay, everyone's a Captain Goose. That's a good name. Vivan Champ Max. Okay, so fine. Almost everyone is here. Let the show begin. And here's the first question. So what portion of the square is shaded? You have a square in front of you. What portion of the square is shaded? This is a fraction, guys. Come on. And it's time. Wow. So 32 of you got this correct. That's wonderful. Okay. So I see so many of you got this correct. That is wonderful. Let's see who did not get this correct and how should we solve this. Okay. So whom do I have in front of my screen over here? Let me check. Okay. So I have Advika in front of me. Advika, can you see my pen? Let me just write your name. Is your name visible? Wonderful. So my pen is working. Very good. Thank you for the notification. Now let's understand how do we solve this question. Okay, so here you see we have, so first of all, let's understand what is a fraction. Let's understand what is a fraction. Okay, so when you talk about fraction, the most basic simple definition of a fraction means what? A part, mind you guys, it's a part, not part, because that's me. Okay, it's just a part of a whole. Okay, what is a fraction? A fraction is a part of a whole. And how do you represent a fraction? Okay, we just mentioned that a fraction is a part of a whole. So we usually represent a fraction in the form of a numerator over a denominator. So what is it on the top that is called? It is called a numerator. I see kids at times mispronouncing it. It's not numerator. It's not terminator. It's numerator. Let me just, spell it out for you. It is Numerator. So it's numerator over denominator. It's numerator over denominator. Okay, so it is represented in this form. Now let's understand where does these two parts fit in. So the part is always represented by the numerator. The part is always represented by the numerator, whereas the whole is always represented by the denominator. Okay, so this is the basic information that we need to understand for being clear with the concept of fractions. Now, using this piece of information, let us understand how can we solve this question. Okay, so if you see here, they are telling us what part of the fraction is we have to identify. So first of all, we have to write it in the form of a numerator over denominator. Numerator means part, denominator means whole. Whole means it is divided into how many parts? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's divided into 9 parts. And how many parts of it are shaded? It's shown that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 parts of it are shaded. So yes, this is how you represent a fraction. And this was the most basic understanding of fraction. I understood from the first answer that majority of you know this. I just wanted to make the base clear so that there is no doubts in the questions coming ahead. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So the scoreboard that we have here is the champion self-declared Aditya is already on the top. Very good, Aditya. Let's move on to the next question real quick. So here we have, select the box that has 1/5 of the pizza remaining. Oh my God, why did I do this? Why did I put a pizza in front of me? Now I am hungry. Okay. All right. Last 5 seconds, guys. All right. So 27 of you got this correct. Now let us understand how do you solve this question. So whom can I invite for the answer? Who would like to come up over here and answer with me? Okay, you guys can raise your hands if you want to answer. Okay, yes. So I see that Panav has raised his hand. So Panav, could you please unmute yourself, dear? Panav, I have 2 most important questions for you today. 2 really most important questions for you. Okay, the first one, sorry, the second one being what would be the correct answer here, but the first one being what is your most favorite pizza?
My most one would wait. Couldn't I look at the question again?
Okay, you are deviating from my important question. My important question was, what is your most favorite pizza? Which is your most favorite pizza?
So 1/5 of the pizza would mean like there should be 5 total equal pieces.
Yes. Okay. So Panav is kind of strict on the question.
Let's remain. So
1/5.
If it's 1/5, meaning 1 is the numerator and the 5th is the denominator.
Very good. So they are telling us 1/5, right? So 1 parts out of 5. 1/5 means 1 parts out of 5. So 5, it means the entire pizza is divided into 5 full parts. Okay, 5 equal parts, if I must say. And they're saying 1 part of the pizza is remaining. Okay, so if you see here, 1 part is remaining, but in total you had 3 parts. Here, 3 parts are remaining. So this would be incorrect. If you look at this option, you have how many? You have 1 pizza remaining, 1 slice, and how many do you have in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, this is the one which would represent 1 part out of 5 parts is remaining. So did everyone understand this?
One question. So
yes, Panav.
I just press the green button is the answer is correct, but in my code section, the thing is wrong.
Sorry, Panav. Your voice is glitching a bit.
So I was saying that. So I pressed the D, the green one, but the answer of it is saying it's incorrect.
It's showing incorrect?
Yeah.
Okay, cause there is a technical glitch over here, because we had to select 1/5 and it has selected 3/5 one. So everyone, the correct answer would be what? 1/5, that is the D1, which 27 of you have given correct. Okay. That is why I asked you people, I said that 27 of you got this correct. All right. Okay, so let's move on to the next question real quick. So which model shows the fraction 1/6? You have four options. Which of these is showing the fraction 1/6? Okay, last 5 seconds. Okay, so we have a tie sort of between the blue and yellow option, like a big fight. Let's understand this. Which model shows the fraction 1/6? Okay, 1/6. See, 1/6 clearly states that we have to identify the one having one part out of 6 parts. Okay, the sheet one part out of 6 parts. So majority of you answered B and C. Let's understand both of them. So when we write a fraction, we need to make sure that we are writing it in the form for numerator and denominator. Denominator means total parts. How many total parts do you have here in B? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There are 8 parts over here, right? Okay, there are 8 parts. So my denominator here would have been 8. How many of them are shaded? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them are shaded. So this fraction would have been 4/8, right? But we want the fraction which is equivalent to 1/6. Now let us understand the C part. Again, you find total number of parts. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You have 6 total parts over here. How many of them is shaded? Just one of it is shaded. So yes, C would have been the correct answer. Did everyone understand this? If yes, please give me a thumbs up. Come on, guys. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, good, good, good. All right, so let's move on. We'll look at the scoreboard later on. Let's see. So what fraction does the number line show where the blue dot is located? So you have a number line over here. You need to identify what fraction does this blue dot show. All right. Wonderful. 32 of you got this correct. That is amazing. Okay, I have a wonderful question now. Let us see how many of you are actually understanding fractions right now. Okay. So 32 students got this correct. 2 students got it incorrect. 32 students got it correct. 2 students got it incorrect. Now the question that I'm asking you people is, what is the fraction? How would you represent the fraction of the number of students who got this correct, who got the answer correct? How would you represent this statement in terms of a fraction? Okay. I see so many raising hands. Arnav is raising hand. Okay, Arnav, you're dancing, man. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yes, Arnav, please answer.
So you will write it as 32 over 34.
32 over 34. Very good, Arnav. Because 32 selects the part of the people that got it correct, and 34 selects the whole, all the total parts. So there are 34 students in total. Very good, Arnav. That was wonderful. Okay, so now let's come back to the question over here that we have. So here the question is telling us what fraction does the number line show where the blue dot is located. So here's the blue dot. Now understand, how do we solve this question? Always remember, when we want to write a fraction, you have to write it in the form of numerator or denominator, or you can also say it as part over whole. So first identify how many parts do you have of whole. So you see this is 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts, 4 parts, 5 parts. The number line is divided into 5 equal parts. The number line is divided into 5 equal parts. So my denominator here would be 5. Now let us understand where is the blue dot. The blue dot is exactly in the first part, okay, where the first part ends. So what fraction is it showing? It's showing 1 part out of 5 parts. So that is why the fraction would have been 1 over 5. Did everyone understand this? Please give me a thumbs up if you did. Because I have the next question, which is exactly similar to this. And I want everyone else, these 2 kids also, to get this correct. Okay. All right, very quickly, let's move on to the next question. It's similar to this one. So you have to identify the fraction that the blue dot on the number line shows. Okay, so what would it be? And 3, 2, 1. Wonderful. So everyone got this correct. I am super happy, super happy. So see, everyone who got it, incorrect in the previous turn got it correct even this time. So yes, this is wonderful. Let's go through it once again. So you have to identify the fraction. It is visible over here that it's divided into 8 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this represents the 7 parts. So the fraction would be 7/8. Very good, kids. You guys are super quick. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So which of the number line below has an orange colored segment with a length of 1/3? You have 4 number lines over here. Which of these number lines is having a line segment, colored part 1/3? Okay, so 34 of you got this correct. Very good. Let's understand. So it's saying us which of the following number line below has an orange colored segment with a length of 1/3. So it means that the line segment is divided into 3 parts. Why 3 parts? The fraction being shown is 1/3, right? So it means that the number line is divided into 3 parts. So first of all, identify which number line is having 3 parts. So if you see, this number line is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. So incorrect. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 parts, incorrect. 1, 2, 2 parts, incorrect. Here you see it is having 1, 2, and 3, and there is one part which has been, shaded by the orange color segment. So yes, option A would have been correct. Very good, kids. So I see that you guys are understanding fractions really well. Okay, does someone feel that we are missing something that we did in the previous class and you want to do it in this class also? Anyone? We did something in the previous class, but we are missing it in this class. Okay, so I see people raising their hands. All right. Okay, Pulkit. Yes, Pulkit. What is it?
The tongue twister.
The tongue twister. All right. All right. So yes, let's do one tongue twister. You guys have definitely earned it. You guys are giving correct answers. So let's do one tongue twister. Okay. So who would be ready for the tongue twister? Okay. Who wants to do the tongue twister? Kendall. So Kendall raised her hand. Okay. Now she's gone somewhere. Where is she? Here she is. Kendall, I'm unmuting you. So Kendall, your tongue twister is, it's pretty easy one. It's actually very easy. Do you want me to read it out first?
Yes, can I read it first?
Yes, sure, you can. Okay, so Kendall it is.
Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter if I put it in my batter. It will make my batter bitter, but a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So 'twas better Betty Botter bought a bit of butter, better butter.
Kendall, does this make any sense? Do you feel you read it correct?
I think it means that Betty Botter bought bitter butter.
Okay, cool. Is there anyone who feels that they can, read much quicker in a, much better way? Anyone else? Okay. Who would go? Who would it be? Okay, so I see that Ayush is here. Ayush, you'll have to turn on your video. I'd like to see your smiling face.
My name's Trisha. So
okay, Trisha. Okay, sorry, I read Ayush Rai over there. That's why.
Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So 'twas better Betty bought a bit of butter.
Very good, very good. So that is a really good attempt. Really good attempt. Okay, we can have one more. I was going to give Panav, but Panav is busy eating something. That also without me. Okay. Rhythm, come on, Rhythm. Panav, I'll give it to you next time. You eat without me. Come on, you do that, Panav. Hi, Rhythm.
Hi.
You ready?
Yeah.
Come on.
Betty Butter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter better.
Very good.
So,
see, the thing with tongue twisters is that you have to read it super quick. Super quick. So it should be like flash speed. So it should be like, Betty bought some butter, but she said the butter's better. If you put my batter in my butter, it will make my batter better. But a bit of butter will make my batter better. Blah, 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 blah. Even I lost track after the fourth butter and better and batter. Okay, so yes, that was fun. Very quickly, let's move on to the next question. Compare. So you have to compare 4/5 with 2/5. Come on, people, compare. Okay, so we see that 23 of you got this correct. Very good. Now see, this is a new topic altogether from what we are doing so far. Let me explain what is comparing. See, dear, whenever you see the word compare, it means we have to figure out that there are two quantities in front of us. Whether the first quantity is greater than the second one, is less than the second one, or is equal to the second quantity. You have to identify that. Okay, now there is something that I want to teach you people right now. So everyone, let's come to the blackboard. Always remember this rule when you are comparing fractions. Always remember this rule when you are comparing fractions. Okay, so there would be two types. First type would be what? When you have the same denominators. When you have the same denominators. Okay, so here we are talking about comparing two fractions having the same denominators. So always remember this golden rule. What is the golden rule that you need to remember? That whenever you are comparing two fractions having the same denominator, whenever you're comparing the fractions, two fractions having the same denominator, the fraction having the fraction having the greater numerator, would be bigger. Always remember, whenever you're comparing two fractions having the same denominators, the fraction having the greater numerator would be bigger. So here you have 4/5 and here you have 2/5. If you look closely, both the fractions are having the same denominators. In both the cases, the denominator is what? 5. They are having the same denominator. So what did we just learn? That whenever there are two fractions having the same denominators, the fraction having greater numerator, would be bigger. So if you see from 4 and 2, what is the greater numerator? 4 is the greater numerator, right? So 4/5 would be greater than 2/5. 4/5 would be what? Greater than 2/5. Did everyone understand this? Please give me a thumbs up if you guys did. Yes? Okay. So now I have another fraction over here. Let's see who would be able to answer this for me. So I have, I have 3/7 and here I have 5/7. So I see Jairam is raising his hand. Jairam, what sign would come here, dear? Here in this particular box, would it be greater than, less than, or equal to? What sign would come here?
Less than.
Less than. Wonderful. Why? Because same denominators, the greater numerator would be greater. So 5/7 would be greater than 3/7, and 3/7 would be less than 3/7. Wonderful, Jairam. Very good. Okay, so yes, we are ready for the next question. And okay, let me just erase this. All right. So the next question we have is kind of similar but different. Same but different. You have to again compare, but there's a slight difference over here. Come on, compare 2/4 with 2/9. And there we go. So 23 of you got this correct, and 7 of you got this incorrect. Now let us understand. Can anyone tell me what was the difference over here? How was this question different than the previous question that we did? Anyone? Okay, so I see that. Okay, yes, Panav.
So the difference was that so the last question was the denominator was the same, but in this
Very
question
good.
the numerator was.
Wonderful observation, Panav. Wonderful observation. Yes.
And I think I know how to solve this question.
How should we do that?
So how we do that? We'll look at the denominator, and which I will see which is the bigger one, 9. So we'll say if we wanted to say, so in this one, the numerator is smaller, the smallest number will be the biggest. So if we compare the 4 and the 9, the 4 is bigger because even if it's small, in the numerator thingy, like when the numerators are the same, the smallest number will be the greater than the biggest number in there. Even I know 4 is smaller than 9, but if the numerator, both of them are same, then the smallest number will be biggest and the biggest number will be smallest.
Very good, Panav. Very good. So let's understand this, guys. So we said that there are 2 rules, right? Here we just learned the first rule. Here we just learned the first rule that when you have same denominators. So let's understand what would happen. Let's understand what would happen when you have the same numerators. Panav, you explained it perfectly well. Let's have a look at it again. So when you are comparing 2 fractions having the same numerators, you're comparing 2 fractions having the same numerators. So in this case, what would happen? The fraction having the smaller denominator, would actually be greater. Now this sounds controversial, right? How can small be big? How is this happening? This sounds controversial, right? Let's understand this. Let us see that how can this be true? So let me take my favorite example over here. My favorite example. So, you know what, guys? I'll have to admit it. I'm a big fan of, Cadbury's, chocolates and everything. And my favorite chocolate is, how many of you have tasted Hershey's cookies and cream bar? That's amazing, right? So yeah, see, I see so many people raising hands. So let's say that I have 1 bar of Hershey's cookies and cream, okay? Okay, let us say I have 1 bar of it over here. All right. Now, to my luck, I don't just have 1 bar, I have 2 such bars. Okay, I don't have 1, I have 2 such chocolates. Okay, now because they are the same chocolates, they would be same in size. So we are trying to understand how 2/4 is actually greater than 2/9. See what is happening over here, people. Everyone focus over here. What is happening? In first case, I'm taking the fraction to be what? In the first case, I'm taking the fraction to be 2/4. In second phase, I'm taking the fraction to be 2/9. So when I say the first case, the fraction is 2/4, that means I'm taking my Hershey's bar and I'm dividing into what? I'm dividing into 4 equal parts. I'm dividing it into 4 equal parts. And in the next case, I'm saying the fraction is 2/9. That means I'm dividing it into 9 parts. Okay, so let's say here we have 3. So you see, my first chocolate, what does this mean? The denominator here 4 means that there are 4 total parts. The denominator 9 here means there are 9 total parts. What does this 2 show? This 2 over here shows that out of 4 parts, I am taking 2 parts. Out of 4 parts, I am taking 2 parts. Okay. So here I am taking 2 parts out of 4. What does this 2 over here means? I am taking 2 parts out of 9 over here. So that would be this much and this much. And this is pretty much clear, right? The same chocolate. In the first case, I'm getting how much? In the first case, I'm getting this much. In the second case, I'm getting only this much. So now you people understand how 2/4 is actually greater than 2/9? Yes. And what is the rule for remembering it? That if the numerators are same, then the smaller denominator would be greater. Did everyone understand this? Please give me a thumbs up if you understood this. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I see thumbs up. So wow. Very good. Wonderful. So yes, everyone is understanding. We are on the same page. Very quickly, let's move to the next question. And here we have, write equivalent fraction for 1/6 represented by the second square. So what should be the equivalent fraction in this case? Come on. Wow. So 22 of you got this correct. Now we have a new concept over here, right? We have a new concept over here, a new word which says equivalent fraction. Okay, equivalent fractions. What does equivalent fraction means? It means that 2 fractions which are having the equal value. 2 fractions having the equal value. So here we need to understand the first model is representing it's showing the fraction 1/6. So 1 out of the 6 parts is shaded in the first. Whereas you have to find out the similar equivalent fraction for it in the second model. Okay, so you would have to identify what are the total parts over here. So would you be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? That is tedious, right? That is tedious. What if I tell you that I have a very easy way of understanding this? Here you see out of 6, just 1 part was shaded. And here you can see that how many parts are shaded? This is the first part that is shaded. This is the second part that is shaded. Correct? There are 2 parts that are shaded. Now let me teach you a wonderful trick to find out equivalent fractions. Let us understand a very wonderful trick to find out equivalent fractions. Always remember, kids, that when you want to find an equivalent fraction to a fraction, you would be multiplying both. You would be doing what? Multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So what is the fraction that I had? I had 1/6. My first square had the fraction 1/6. I don't know the second fraction clearly, but I saw that 2 parts out of it were shaded. Now I need to find how many parts did it have in total. So remember, these fractions are equal, right? So what number should I multiply with 1 that I get an equivalent 2 of it? I know 1 times 2 gives me 2, right? So what did I say? If you want to find an equivalent fraction, you have to multiply both the numerator and denominator by the same number. So you see 6 times 2 would give me 12. And that is why 2/12 is the correct answer. Did everyone understand this? Please give me a thumbs up if you did, because the next question is kind of similar to this. And if you're not, then I can help you solve it right now. Okay, so everyone has understood this. Very quickly, let's check the next question. So again, which equivalent fraction would represent 1/2 for the second square? Similar question, identify this. And it's time. So 25 of you got this correct. Very good. Let's understand it once again. So people, what fraction do we have here? One part out of two parts is shaded. We need to find an equivalent fraction of this over here. We needed to find an equivalent fraction of this over here. So how many parts are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4. So here you have 4 in the numerator. So 1 times what would give you 4? 1 times what is giving you 4? 1 times 4 is giving you 4. What did I say? Please remember this golden rule. Whenever you want to find an equivalent fraction, you multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So if I'm multiplying the numerator here by 4, I would be doing the same by the denominator. So 2 times 4 gives me 8. And if you want to check your answer, you see 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 parts are shaded out of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that is why the fraction over here would be what? 4/8. Is everyone understanding this? If yes, please give me a thumbs up. If not, you can please raise your hand. Okay, very good. So everyone is understanding this. Cool, cool, cool. So we are done with 10 questions. Now we did a riddle. Let's try something more fun. We did a tongue twister, sorry. We did a tongue twister. Let's try something more fun. Okay, we are doing fractions right now. Are you guys ready for a riddle? Are you guys ready for a riddle? Anyone over here? Yes, yes, yes. Come on, show me some excitement. Okay. Yes, I see Josita is super excited for it. I see Varsha, Kendall, so many people excited. Okay. Yo, Anish is like, wow. Okay, then guys, let's have a riddle. Let's have a riddle. So the riddle is like this. Okay, the riddle goes like this. You have to identify the name of the city. Whoever knows this knows the answer can just raise your hand, and you have to. I'll give you a chance to answer. You have to answer the name of the city. Okay, which city is this? Okay, so which city is this? Okay, you have to name the city. Okay, this city is 3/7. This city is 3/7 of chicken. Sorry, let me just erase this. This city is 3/7 of chicken. Okay, then it is 2/3 of cat, and then it is 2/4 of goat. Come on, kids. We are doing fractions. I will give you one hint that this is related to fractions. This is a fractions riddle. Come on, tell me who can answer this. Who can answer this? Come on, come on, come on. Show me your hands raised, people. Okay. So I see so many hands raised. Whom should I pick? Whom should I pick? Okay, 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 okay. Yes, Varsha. Yes, Varsha.
The answer is a farm.
Is a farm? Okay. That was a good answer, but sadly it is incorrect. Farm is not a city. And you had to use fractions over there. All right, all right, all right. Okay, let's see who else would answer this. Who else would answer this? Okay, Ansh.
Kansas City, because Kansas, it's like a countryside, and countrysides have lots of farms.
Okay.
Kansas.
Again, Kansas is a good answer, but sadly, dear, it's not the correct answer. So everyone, look here. What did I tell you, people? What did I tell you, people? That you have to use fractions. Now let's understand the logic over here. The city is 3/7. So 3 parts out of 7 of chicken. How many letters does chicken have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3/7 would be what? The first 3 letters. 2/3 of cat. So cat has 3 letters. If I choose 2 letters of it, and 2/4 of goat. So again, 2 letters of goat. Goat has 4 letters. So what city is this? Chicago. Did you guys understand this? This was a fun one, right? Yeah, if you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. Come on. Give me a heart react if you enjoyed this. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Cool, cool, cool. So yes, let's move on to the next question now. Here we go. Make the bottom rectangle equivalent. Equivalent fractions is what we learned. Make the bottom rectangle equivalent. Very good. 26 of you got this correct. Wonderful. And let's understand how do you do this. So it's again equivalent fractions. What is the fraction that you have here? 6/8. You have to make it equivalent. So it means I have to shade it till here. How many parts do I see here in total? There are 4 parts in total. Okay, and how many parts do I need to fill here? If you see, this would be 1 part. This would be the second part. And then this would be the third part. But let's understand this logic using equivalent fraction. The first fraction is 6/8. And the fraction that I want is something fourths. Okay, I don't know the numerator. What did I tell you, people? You need to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So if 4 times 2, if 4 times 2 gives me 8, which number, okay, what number times 2 would give me 6? The answer would be 3, right? 3 times 2 gives me 6. Isn't this easy? All right, very good. So I guess we are good with the concept of equivalent fractions now. Any doubts with equivalent fractions, people? Okay, very good. Let's move on to the next question real quick. Enter the missing number that makes the fractions equal. So 1 again, equivalent fraction, similar question. Please answer this. Got this correct. So see, we are still using the same logic. The fraction I have here is 2/3. Now I need to find the numerator over here. Okay, what did I tell you, people? See here, this equal to sign means that these both fractions are equal to each other. In simple words, what? They are equivalent fractions. And how do you find an equivalent fraction? You multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So you ask yourself a very simple question. Which number should I multiply with 3? 3 times what would give me 6? 3 times 2 gives me 6, right? Correct? So I do the same with the numerator over here. 2 times 2. And what would that give me? 2 times 2 would give me a 4. So the correct answer would be 4. Did everyone understand this? Very good. Okay, then let's very quickly move on to the next question. We're not watching scoreboards today because this is not a competition, right? We're here to revise. Okay, so the question is, Lisa is working with the fraction models. She says that 1/3 is greater than 1/2. Is she correct? Yes or no? Come on, tell me. And it's time. 26 of you said no and 10 of you said yes. So, okay, let's hear it from you people this time. We have learned this. So first of all, which type of a fraction is this? The one having the same numerator, same denominator, what is it? Let me ask, whom should I ask? Okay, let me ask Advika. Hi, Advika.
Hi.
So Advika, what should be my approach when I'm solving this question?
It should be 1/2 because, you know, like you said, there's a golden rule that if when the
Numerators.
The numerator is the same, the denominator should be the
smaller one, right?
Small number.
Very good. Yes, that is exactly correct. Very good, Advika. So what was the golden rule, kids? Let's revisit the golden rule once again. Here's the golden rule. that whenever you are having same numerators, the fraction having the smaller denominator would be greater. Okay, so now if you look at the fractions that you have here, the fractions that you have here are what? 1/3 and 1/2. What is the rule? 1/3 and 1/2. Okay, so same numerators, so the smaller denominator would be greater. So you see the mouth, the alligator's mouth would open towards the bigger, the smaller on this side. Okay, so the fraction that is greater is 1/2, and that is why its mouth would open over here. 1/3 is less than. So yes, Talisa was incorrect. Very good. Let's check the next question. Select the fraction which when multiplied gives an equivalent fraction. So again, equivalent fractions. Come on, kids. I want you guys getting it correct this time. What number should be multiplied in the numerator and the denominator so that I get 360? Come on. Wow. I am super happy 31 of you got this correct. So you people are getting this gradually. Very good. So yes, what did I say? The third golden rule that we discussed for equivalent fractions is that, dear, whenever you want to find an equivalent fraction, what do? You multiply. What do? You multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. By the same number. So here you see, you need to multiply this first fraction with another fraction to get the third fraction. So 2 times what gives me 6? 2 times what gives me 6? 2 times 3 gives me 6. Correct? So I'd be doing the same with the numerator. I'd be doing 1 times 3 and that would give me 3. So the correct answer would be what? 3 over 3. Okay, and that would actually equal to 1 whole. Very good. So very quickly, let's move on to the next question. 1/3 of the army has no shoes. How many sixths is that? Another way of finding equivalent fractions over here, kids. How many sixths is that? And here we have the answer. So 25 of you got this correct. Let's check this. So the question says 1/3. How would I represent this in form of fraction? 1/3 means 1 is the numerator and 3 is the denominator. Of the army has no shoes. How many sixths is that? So dear, what is this? This is another way of representing an equivalent fraction. Okay, we need to find an equivalent fraction to the fraction 1/3. But in this case, we want the denominator to be what? 6. So we need to find out 1/3 equals to what sixth? So again, simple question, 3 times 2 is equal to 6. 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So 1 times 2 would equal to what? It would equal to 2. And that is why 2/6 is the correct answer. Did everyone understand this? If yes, please give me a heart react. Okay, very good. Very good, very good. Now we have the last question, okay? And this is similar to this one, so everyone please pay attention. Come on. You gave away 2/5 of your stamp collection. Okay, how many 15ths is that? You have 2/5, you need to find an equivalent fraction with 15 as the denominator. Come on, kids. Okay, last 5 seconds. Wonderful. So 21 of you got this correct. That is amazing. Now let me seek help from my wonderful people over here. Who would like to help me with this answer? Anyone? Anyone? Okay. So Vikram is here raising his hand. Vikram, I like how the way the color of your glasses match the color of your tea. Very
Thank
good. Blue is my
you.
favorite color also. And is the
Yeah.
correct answer also for this. Wonderful. What a
Yeah.
coincidence.
It was 6/5 because since it would be 15th because since there are 5 since 5 is the denominator, there are 5 parts in 15. So you can
What?
split it up into 5, and 15 is a multiple of 3. So
Very
since so what you can do, it's so first you do 3, so that will be 1/5. Then you do 6/15, which is 2/5, and you could go on like 9/15 is 3/5, and then
Very
12/15 is 4/5, and then 15/15 is 5/5.
5/5. Wonderful. Very good, Vikram. So if you see, if I just do t times 3, 15 is a multiple, right? So 5 times 3 gives me 15. So if I do the same with the numerator, 2 times 3, that would give me 6. And this is how you find the equivalent fraction. Okay, kids. So this is, all for the fractions domain. I would not be going through the, winners, because each one of you is a winner over here. Okay, so, all right. Now, if you people remember in the beginning of the session, I said that I'll be calling, I'll be requesting your parents for coming once again, okay, because I have something wonderful for them. And Advika asked me a question, and I told her that Advika, I'll be answering that question, but at the end of the class. So people, if you could, please call in your parents for just a quick minute. All right. Wonderful. So yes, I see that people are going for calling their parents. So I see Varsha's dad is here. Okay, I see Jyotisha's dad here. Very good. Hey parents, welcome once again. Okay, so I see Jairam's dad is here. Okay, so Evan Panav's mom is here. Very good. So parents are coming in. So hey parents, once again, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And as I discussed in the beginning of the session, that I'll be calling you people for, for one more time, because there is something very exciting that we are coming up with. So first, yes, congratulations. We successfully revised the third domain fractions in the third session. Now, I'll be sharing the worksheets again. Please make sure that you're doing your part at home. We are giving the answers with the worksheets also. So please make sure that the kids are practicing the worksheets. In the beginning, we shared a Microsoft form. So if you feel that there are any questions from these worksheets, that the kid is facing difficulty with, you can just copy paste that particular question in the Microsoft form, and I'll be discussing those questions in the next class also. Okay, so any doubts, we'll be revisiting them for sure. Now, the next mission that we have is we'll be covering the fourth domain, that is measurement and data. We'll be meeting again on 2nd of May, same time, and that would be the the fourth domain that we'll be covering. And after that, we just have one domain, and ta-da, we have successfully revised the entire grade 3 curriculum. Now, this is not why I called you people. There is something that is amazing that I am super excited about. We at 90th percentile is super excited about. Okay, and that is that. So majority of you know that we are we are offering courses for math, EL, and coding, and majority of you are a part of it, have experienced it, and we have kind of accelerated more than 1,000 academic careers using these courses of ours. And we very proudly are announcing a new program, which I see that a lot of kids have the fear of speaking. Maybe it's on the stage in front of people, if it's in a family gathering, in a cafe, or anyway, they have this fear of speaking and voicing their opinions. So this is something very exciting that we are coming up with, and that is public speaking. So once again, yes, let me announce public speaking as the new program that 90th percentile is coming up. It is there for grades 3 through 8. Okay, it is still a process that's coming soon. I request you people to please stay tuned to our websites and social media handles. We'll be sharing more details on the social media and websites. Even in the next class that we meet again, I'll be coming up with more details of it. As of now, I have a wonderful video that has been prepared, which would give you, a total insight of what public speaking is. So yes, with your due permission, I'd like to, present the video. And here we go. So yes, that was the introductory video that we have. For for the upcoming program 98 for public speaking. I'm sure you guys are equally excited as we are, so that's my request. Please stay tuned for the next class. Also in the one after that, we'll be sharing in more details. This is a very good program, and it would definitely help kids voice their opinions. Okay, now yes, that's it from our end. I have the final request. Could you all please turn on your videos and we could have the victory smiles? It was a wonderful session. Let's get ready for a group photo. You could share your hearts with us. I definitely enjoyed, so I'll be sharing a heart reaction. And we can have a wonderful picture over here. Okay, wow, I see so many hearts on my screens. Okay, people, so yes, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for your time. Okay, I hope this was fun. Have a wonderful Sunday. We'll be meeting again next week with the next domain, and it will be super fun and exciting once again. Okay, until then, bye-bye. Take care. Stay safe. Please stay safe. Okay, have a great time. Bye-bye. See ya. Ta-ta, 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 ta. Bye.